So here we are, going inside now. Again, this is the Monument Retail Center, brand new building. You guys, I think a lot of people know that some of the Goodwills are having specialty stores, and in Denver we do have one too. It's called Deja Blue. But the reason I like to come to this particular Goodwill is because they also have a Deja Blue boutique. Zoom in inside this store, and that's where like the higher end items are going to go. Okay, I'm going to stop filming now, okay? Okay, I'm going to try to pick back up where I left off. So, beginning of the store still, first thing I do is remind myself what colors are on sale. So it's white and red, and then there'll be a secret color, and it's usually whatever was 50% off the week before. And in this case, I believe it's green. Sorry, I had to move. A worker came right in front to put something up, and I didn't ask for permission, so I just moved the camera. So one of the employees told me once that this little acronym, if that's the right way you say it, but it goes, you give really wild parties. And so the first letter of every word stands for a color, like U for yellow, give for green. And so that kind of helps me, that little saying kind of helps remind me so I can remember what is the secret color this week. And then I already told you guys they have a Deja Blue station. Sometimes I go up to Denver to the actual Deja Blue little boutique Goodwill store, but this particular one here in Monument has a little whole section that we'll go in later that has what they consider the upper scale items. It'll be a little pricier, but you know, if it's upper scale labels, sometimes it's worth it. So I don't know if you can see this. So back in there, books and brews. That's the book station and coffee machine, hot water, sink to wash your hands, sometimes cookies. I told you most of my Goodwills have coffee bars in them, free coffee. There'll be about 10 tables that you can, you know, sit down, look at a book, drink your coffee, whatever. And so once I fill up my cart, you know, I'll go in there and relax and sit down and kind of go through my cart and fine tune things. To go through this whole store is probably going to be about 2 to 3 hours. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole every section. Well, I don't do children's very much, but I probably won't do every section. Try to keep it to like an hour and a half. So I'm still at the beginning. There's a lot of good coats, coat racks right up front. So I'm kind of skimming through those. I already have quite a few things in my cart. I just kind of go through, and anything that looks like quality fabric, you know, and then I'll pull it out, check the label, and it doesn't really have to be a good label if it's quality fabrics, right? So I think I'll stop for a moment now and kind of finish what I'm doing, and I'll talk to you guys later. This is a big store. This is pretty big Goodwill up here. It's brand new, like 3 years old. All right, bye for now. Okay, so now I want to talk about when you're in a hurry. Okay, for instance, let's take this rack here, this sweater rack. And this store uses rounders. I actually prefer the straight racks. They're easier to flip through. I think they should all switch because it would be easier for employees, less hassling, fussing with the hangers. Actually, if you think about it, it would also hold more inventory, but whatever. Anyways, back to this. So you don't have to go stand here and go and flip through each, you know, item like that. I just walk around it, okay? Let's just walk around it. I'm gonna go real slow. Tell me if you see something, you know, like what would you pull out? Look at the fabrics. Take a peek at that one. Take a peek at that one. Sometimes Ralph Lauren, see, it's a chaps. They do a lot of Ralph Lauren type stuff. That's why I pulled that one out. That one, no. Walk, 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 walk. I see rhinestones. Don't like it. Walk, walk, walk. Wait a minute. This could be, nope. I might look at that one. Nope. That one, probably imported from Hong Kong. Don't like it. This one here I'm going to look at, Nicki Minaj. Popular, but very cheap. See? Done. So like really, if I wasn't talking to you, that would have took like, I don't know what, 20 seconds. You see what I'm saying? So when you're on time crunch, you don't have to look through everything. You don't have to know your labels yet. Don't be intimidated if you're just starting out with clothes. You know quality fabric. And even if something is a good quality fabric and a good label, if it's not in good shape, you still can't sell it. But anyways, moving on. So I just did that with all these other sweater racks. And I did pull out, I just did just like I showed you guys, just the walk around, touching the fabrics, looking and then touching. It takes about 20 to 30 seconds max. So I did find a St. John. So I did grab that, and I grabbed this Armani Exchange. Okay, so I'm done, so that was about 6 or 7 sweater racks in here, and I did 20 to 30 seconds around them, pulled out 2 items. So don't be intimidated. If I wanted to be more leisurely, I could do that, but I want to kind of do this whole store in like an hour and a half is what I'd like to do. All right, you guys, I'm going to continue on. I'll check back in a minute. Okay, I'm popping in for a side note. Start to get excited, right? Hate that. Okay, I'm just popping for a quick check-in. I wanted y'all to see this shirt because we don't get to see this kind of message as often as we see the negative one. Lover's gonna love. Yes. Okay, I'm back to talk about another topic. So I'm going through the short sleeve shirts and the tank tops. I don't really like, I've kind of stopped selling quite as much of that stuff, trying to find things that bring back a little bit better return, higher end labels. But anyways, I still go through here, look through some Harley Davidson t-shirts, which I already did go through the black ones before I turned the camera back on there, and I found a couple Harley t-shirts. They're already in my cart. But what I'm going to look for when I go through here, I'm going through the fabric, I'm looking for anything that looks like slinky, nice material, like it might be a cotton and silk blend, and I'm looking for like this that someone else has already even pulled out. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can look at this. Okay, it's just a cable and gauge. I'm not going to get it, but I want you to look at the fabric. Okay, look at the fabric. It's like a sweater knit, kind of like it has maybe a little bit of silk in it or something. So the reason I'm looking for this kind of fabric on things, like there's another one I want to pull out, nope, limited, is I'm looking for St. John Santana knit, and I'm looking for exclusively Miss Hook. And sometimes they're little short sleeve shirts and tank tops can go for quite a bit more. It's worth your time. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm going through that. So I hope you caught that fabric. All right, bye for now. Okay, I'm back for a second. So let me show you. I just did the athleisure and athletic section, which normally I actually do first because it's my favorite niche. So I did this rack of pants and then a rounder up there with like the tops and jackets. So I did all this real quick. It took me about 5 to 8 minutes because I do go over it a little more slowly because that's my favorite niche, and I'm also looking at things for myself and my daughters. So out of all that, let's just say it was 8 minutes. I only pulled out 6 items, but I'm going to show you real quick, and then there's a couple other things I want to talk to you about. So what I pulled out were some leggings. This is good. Marika Miracles. It's a good athletic and yoga brand, and this is especially good within that line because it's like they're engineered with certain pattern designs. They need lint roll. Don't pay any attention. They feel like they're new. Seriously, I already checked the crotch. Oh, I hate that word, but I had to say it. And the butt and the knees. They look like no one ever wore them. But anyways, this is like Control. So these are really nice. As a matter of fact, I'll fix it in a minute. I only have 2 hands. I'll probably try those on. Patagonia, everything looks fine. I'm not 100% happy with, see this? I'm not 100% happy. Dang it, I don't know how to hold my phone and show you. But when you stretch it out, there. Like, I'm not 100% happy with that, but they're only $3.99. And other than that, they look great. The knees, the you-know-what area is fine. Okay, and then this is awesome. New with tags. I don't know if I'm saying this right, Mondetta, but anyways, that's awesome. This I'm probably going to offer to my daughters first because, hey, look at this. Wait a minute, let me hang it up here and back up because I want you guys to see how, you girls, to see how cool this is. It's a long hoodie. Oh my gosh, just think how cute that is going to be with some tight black leggings. So it is $7.99. It's not a sale tag, but it's new with tags. I'm going to go ahead and get it because I'm going to offer it to my daughters first, and if they don't want to, you know, bounce me back the $8, then I'm sure it's going to sell. This is just adorable. Okay, and then there were 3 things that I don't know what they were doing in here, but I'm going to get them. This is a okay label, you know, travel style, very comfortable, made in USA is always good. But it's half price, so these are like $2. These little stretchy. I checked it over for snags, so we're good. And then these brand new Ann Taylor with tags for career, not on sale, but they're only $3.99 and new with tags. They're just like little career pants. They're lined. Looks like a silk blend, maybe. I haven't checked. And then this is half price, so they're only going to be $4. But these are some retro leather pants, high-waisted leather pants. So I'm not going to leave those here for $4. If they don't sell as pants, I will cut them off, make them into shorts, and sell them to, let's just say, an entertainer, perhaps. Okay, you guys, I'm off to dresses. Talk to you later. Okay, I'm back. There was a couple more things I wanted to say about looking for like leggings and athleisure, but some workers came to put some clothing up, so I just wanted to stop. So adding to that real quick, so when you're going through this, like, Lululemon is one of the best resale values right now, right? Most of us know that. And so their basic like groove pants, and that's the style name, it comes in different colors, but like groove leggings and pants, basically a lot of their, darn it, waistband. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to be kind of covert about this, but still talk loud enough so you can hear and kind of be quick and efficient. So a lot of them kind of look like this, you know. It's an engineered waistband, like it's supposed to be tummy controlled. So you can, these aren't though. There are a lot of copycats too. You know how that works. These are different. I won't bother telling you, but anyways, you just kind of go through and pull out anything like that if you're in a hurry. Like, so you can look like, you don't even need to waste your time pulling out this kind of stuff. Seriously. And then on this, this is Victoria's Secret, the sexy workout wear. But the reason I'm not getting it, it's not on sale. $4.99 is too much because it doesn't have a lot of wear on it at all. But I don't like this. See, when she puts it on, and that's a shame. So check that, give it a little stretch. You need to do that on your t-shirts too if you're doing graphic t-shirts. Other than that, these look great, but I'm going to have to leave them because of that. And if they were maybe cheaper, like if it was a bins thing or something, I'd go ahead and do it because, you know, just flip them real quick. So again, see, like, look, like, you don't even need, like, you don't have to touch any of this stuff. Look at that. You don't even have to. And once you see something, you know, maybe pull that out, okay? That's probably, that's what I thought, Old Navy. Reebok, but that's a little bit too much for me right now. I've got plenty to list, so I'm not going to bother with that. Alright, bye. Okay, I'm back for a second update here. So I just went through the dresses. It's only about 3 or 4 wall sections, and that's because if you remember when I first came in, that this particular store has, wait a minute, I have to be careful, there's people. I will look out the window for a minute. But this particular store has the upper scale Deja Blue boutique section in the front. So any of the better dresses and items they're going to pull and have in there. But I went ahead to look through this, you know, because like any kind of dress that's real conservative or they think is like older lady type, you know, they wouldn't probably put in Deja Vu, they would probably put it over here, and so that would probably include any kind of St. John. Typically they just mark that off as like, I hate saying, don't just say older lady, more conservative, but I didn't find any in here. There's some good things in there, a few good pieces, but they had issues or they may be too much right now for what I want to do. So I'm going to look at the jackets. A couple of rounders of jackets. I don't really care about the jeans. I'm not going to do kids. I might take one quick run through the housewares, and that's because this is where, let's see, about a year and a half ago, it's in my Instagram photo albums and also in a couple groups on Facebook. This is where I found that Lisa Frank towel for like $1.99 or $2.99. That Lisa Frank beach towel that I sold for like $175. So, you know, it's kind of like stuck in my head, all sentimental and nostalgic. I always, for some reason, when I come here, I have to just take a peek at the housewares again, but that just takes a second. So this is a tinted window. It's not really that dark out. But anyways, here's the mountains. Normally when I get stuff, I also bring a lot of things over to one of their windows to check for flaws. Okay, you guys, I'll talk to you again in a few minutes. Bye-bye. Okay, so I just finished going through the 3-rounder of jackets. I spent a little bit extra time, I'll say 8 to 10 minutes, because I wanted to look something up real quick before I talk to you guys. And it was this. It's really cute, like super cute. And look at these buttons. And it would be half price, so it would be $4. But the label is just not, it's made in USA. This, maybe it's vintage, I don't know, but it's in great shape. Darn it. The label's just not that known or anything. I'd have to sell it on style, and I probably could, and it's only $4. Now, if I didn't already have a cart full of good stuff that I know is going to bring me more like 8 to 10 times my money, you know, if I just needed some things to list, I would probably go ahead and get this. But since I'm pretty flush, and I mean, not that I don't like to make money, but you know, I try to keep a balance on how much I work, so I'm gonna put it back. Anyways, I'm gonna keep this Tommy Bahama silk puffer. It looks like it should be good. It's gonna be 30% off of $5.99, so 6 times 3 is $1.80, $1.80. Let's say $2 off of 6, so about $4. I'm gonna go ahead and get that. I think it should be worth around 30. I don't see how I could not get at least 26 or so for it. And then I like this Talbots. I don't do a lot of Talbots, but this is epic. Look at that. So it's going to be half price. And just look how cool that is. This tweed, this look is still okay because it's kind of a classic. But look at these buttons too. So, and it's a bigger size. I like that too. So I'm going to go ahead and get that one. And I only pulled 4 things. And I pulled this new with tag silence and noise. I'm not going to get it though. Let's see. Manufacturer suggested 79, which doesn't really mean a whole lot. Let me see if it was made by Anthro. Can't find this. Yeah, okay. So it's an Anthro 66170. But, you know, look, it's not on sale. It's $16.99. I don't care if it is an Anthro piece. I don't even like the color, but okay, never mind. That's me. I'm putting it back. I don't think I can get any more than maybe 30 bucks for, so that's just not worth it. So, and since I'm, like I said, I'm pretty flush on stuff here. My cart's full. I got some really good stuff in here. Like, I haven't shown you guys what's at the bottom too much, and maybe we'll go through some of it together when I go back over to the books and make me a little coffee or tea and go through some of it. My dad's around here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick peek. It's been about 1 hour and 10 minutes. So I'm going to go take a quick peek at the men's suits and shirts and see if there's anything interesting in there. And then probably go through my cart and call it a day. I'm not even going to bother with house goods. Oh, wait a minute. I still have to go to the Deja Blue Boutique. I don't want to miss that because this is one of the few Goodwills that has the Deja Blue higher end boutique, if you will, inside, so I don't have to go all the way up to Denver. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Hey there, checking in. Okay, so I just finished breezing through the housewares. History will repeat itself and I would get lucky and find another Lisa Frank towel. No luck today, but here are 2 racks that they just pulled out, and the reason you have to keep one eye out, if you've already gone through the store, you certainly don't want to breeze through it again, right? So I always keep one ear out for when the new racks are coming out of the swinging doors. And go check those out. And so I just did that, and do you see that? That's what I just pulled off of there, the new rack. If I wouldn't have done that, I would have missed it, because I'm not going back to the store just to see what they were putting out while I was shopping. Okay, that was just a tip. Talk to you guys later. Okay, I'm back. So I'm done. It's been about an hour and a half or so. I ran into somebody I knew, stopped to chat. So I'm in the, wait a minute, you see my cart's full. Most of it I already know for sure, but there are a few things on the bottom that I just want to double check, and I want to get it organized, take all the hangers off so it goes more quickly through the line. So I'm in the book coffee bar area, and I'm going to sit down. Well, I'm going to make some coffee or some tea. If I have a tea bag, I might do that. I'm going to check to see if I have a tea bag. There's Dad looking through books. He always brings his coffee cup, makes him some coffee. Alright, so I'll be back soon. Okay, so I'm back. So I had a little coffee, went through my cart, and I'll show you, what I ended up with. So of course, a couple Harley t-shirts. This one's new with tags, half price. This is out of the Deja Blue Boutique. This is the only thing I picked out, but it's nice. It'll be half price. But it's really nice. Look at it. Some kind of vintage sweater. That's really pretty, isn't it? It's on the sleeves and everything. So I'm definitely going to get that for $5. So cut through this Armani Exchange men's sweater, a vintage St. John, a Nordic sweater, Carol Reed. It's not like made, overseas, but it's still probably $28, $32. Her sweater still will go for with this, Nordic theme, and it is wool. So this is a young person's brand, Lauren Moshi, Beverly Hills. Kind of reminds me of Wild Fox, but for some reason that little shirt's probably going to bring, I don't know, it might even bring like $30. I don't know, but some of her stuff sells for like 60. Okay, you know what? It reminds me of Wild Fox, that brand where the trendy little urban streetwear themes, sell for like $100 or so. Okay, anyways, I think you guys already saw that. I love this. I'm gonna get that. That's the St. John dress. It's a Santana knit dress that I pulled off of the rack that they were just bringing out. Remember, I told you keep an ear out for, when they're pulling out new racks, so you don't have to go through the whole store again. Yeah, I think I already showed you guys all this stuff. So that's kind of what I narrowed it down to. I put a few things back. Oh, I found this that I'm gonna try. It is a wireless Apple, can we see this? Keyboard. So here, I'll try to give you a reference. My hands are so dry from being in here, y'all, but try to give you a reference on the size. So I hope that works with my iPad, because that would be super cool, right? Hang on, I dropped something. And then the other item I'm gonna get are these pretty good shaped tucked shoes. Little Skull Kitty platforms. How much are they? $7.99, but think Doc Marten price range. Those should be fine. They're in pretty good shape. Clean up the bottom. Okay, so just somebody's over there, little girl's over there reading, but I can't show her without her permission. All right, you guys, that's it. So a couple hours, breezy. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. I'm going home.